I'm attorney Jon Heyman. As a member of the motorcycle community for over 30 years, I know, even when riding in the right, accidents still happen. If you've gone down, we'll pick you up. Call 1-800-HEYMAN or visit heymanlaw.com.
Well, now I understand why such a positive attitude would be the name of a band would be Yes.
That's true. I've just written a book actually called The Story of Yes.
The Study of Yes.
So it's like
Story.
the story of it.
Oh,
The study. I don't mind. No, I just saw it in the airport when we were flying over here to Orlando. There's a book by this lady called The Story of Yes, and I thought, I wonder if it's about us. And it wasn't, of course.
But you could probably sue her anyway.
Well, everybody uses that word, yes.
Yeah.
Good morning, how you doing?
Well, there's a lot of people for God knows what reason carry on with the Yes name while you are going to be touring with Trevor Rabin and Rick Wakeman, and meanwhile Steve Howe and Alan White still touring as the band. I mean, I know it's been a long time since you've played with those guys, but it must seem kind of weird that it's not you in that band and they're going on without a single original member.
Well, it's just interesting that life is full of challenges, and people have to do what they want to do in life. You can't always say, well, that's not fair, and go on about it too much. I just thought about it when it happened that if they're going to carry on as Yes, good luck. I got work to do. I'm going to be creating new music. I'm just going to get on with my life. And here I am, like you said, with Rick Wakeman and Trevor Rabin as ARW. And I made it a T-shirt the other day. ARW, a.k.a. Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
that's who we are. In all intents and purposes, we are creating Yes music that I wrote, and we wrote together. Me and Trevor and Rick, and yesterday we did our first rehearsal, and it was just the most explosive energy I've ever worked with. I think we're just hell-bent to make a great show and let people know that we are the true band that created this music, and we're just going to have a great time.
I can't lie to you, John. I have been a huge fan of Yes for nearly my entire life. I have nearly everything the band put out. I've got at least 5 of your solo records, another 10 of the other guys that at one point have been in and out of that band. What I'm trying to tell you is I've invested a whole lot of money in your career, a whole lot of it. And it's...
Well, I owe you.
well,
that's his point.
Just the fact that I'm finally having a conversation with one of my idols growing up, Jon Anderson, is a real big thrill. I mean, occasionally you get to do that in this job, but to talk to you finally after spending all that money and begging money from my parents to allow me to buy your records, it's awesome. I got to say.
But he'd still like you to write him a check.
Oh, I'd take a check any day from you, John. Any day.
So you need a T-shirt.
I would take a T-shirt from you. Of course I would.
We could offer you a T-shirt. All you got to offer him is a T-shirt?
When you're in the Oakdale, if you walk up on stage, you're wearing a Bax O'Brien T-shirt, there's going to be at least 100 people that be thrilled to see it on you. At least 100 people.
And we'd be 2 of them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we're on my head.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, because I would think for the 3 of you guys, and we've talked to Rick before, and he's a very cool guy. I would think that trying to pare down all of the music that you've written since 1968 and trying to keep it under, say, a 9-hour show has to be a hell of a challenge for you.
And that would only be 6 songs.
Right.
I know, but we're going to play them very, very fast.
Yeah, right. So how do you pare it all down?
Well, you just try some stuff out, and if it works, you keep it in the show, and try a couple of songs that it doesn't work, you don't use it. You just think, maybe over the years to come, we're going to create some new music, of course, but we're doing a show now celebrating Yes and Yes music, and that's who we are. And we just go under another banner, ARW. It's still 3 letters.
You do make it easy for everybody, I will say that.
That's all I got.
Yeah. and it's the same combination. It's still 2 consonants and a vowel. They're just in different orders.
I could never understand those words at school.
Oh, the consonants. Yeah,
right.
And I still can't.
So how's your health? I know many years ago you had some asthmatic issues that kept you off a tour with the original band. But how are you feeling now?
Right, I'm really good. I've just got better and better. I love touring. I've been doing a lot of touring. Just me and my wife Jane, we go off with a guitar and I do solo shows all over the place. And I just did some touring with Jean-Luc Ponty and his band, which was just amazing. Working with such great musicians. And working with Rick and Trevor and Lou Molino is the drummer and Lee Pomeroy is the bass player. It's just the same feeling. We're very, very grateful and very, very blessed to do what we do, especially at our age,
I'm kind of known on this show as being more the pessimistic, cynical kind of guy. And I got to tell you, in less than 5 minutes of talking to you, I think I got diabetes. You're so positive and so sweet. Huh? I don't know. I've never heard of a more positive guy.
Well, that's what it was always like that with in the 70s, the 80s. I was with Chris, especially with Chris, 35 years working with him, and you had to be positive around Chris because he was Darth Vader to my Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay, but and Bax and I have been together for 21 years, so
there you go.
So again, I don't know how you stay that positive.
Well, but you stay that positive because you don't really play with anyone for too long. They're in the band.
Exactly.
By the time they get in your nerves, you've already fired them. They're already gone.
And since you're making only 9 and 12-minute songs, there's not a lot of socializing anyway.
Well, music shouldn't be sort of boxed into a 3-minute, 33, 4-minute radio song. It can be. There's no problem about that. And radio is the most wonderful thing in the world for me, and always was when I was a kid growing up and listening to records. But as I grew up musically, I just wanted to put on a great performance of music to an audience. And luckily, I just learned from Frank Zappa and the Beatles and other bands that were doing extended music on stage, and that's all I learned from. And when Yes came together, these were these great musicians that tried out really different styles of music. And somebody sent me a recording of Eleanor Rigby that Yes did in the first show we ever did. We did a version of Eleanor Rigby, and I forgot all about it. And it's so intense that we played all this music around a really very nice song.
Wow.
We played all this sort of very powerful music, and Chris and Tony Kaye, Peter Banks and Bill Bruford were raving. And all of a sudden, and then I started singing Eleanor Rigby. It's really good. Even 1969, that Yes, as a band, was trying to extend music and put on a great show. And that's what we did, and that's what we continue to do 70 years later.
Well,
50 years later.
not quite 70 years later, but pretty damn close. But you guys always did, when you ever did a cover song, and earlier in your career, you certainly did quite a few of them. Those songs, your interpretation of those songs was so different from the original that it actually took a good long period of time to realize, am I hearing the song I think I'm hearing? And then all of a sudden you realize, yeah, they're doing America from Paul Simon or other Beatles songs.
I think you just try things out in rehearsal. If they work, let's keep it. And we're in the same place. And of course, through the 70s, we had this big sort of feeling about, FM radio opened up and people would play Close to the Edge on the radio and You and I. And it was a great sort of boost to the music we were creating. And then we started doing longer pieces and so on. And then all of a sudden, FM was out of the picture. AM took over, and then punk music came and disco, and we were just saying, well, let's just get on with our music, and that's what we did.
That's it. Jon Anderson's going to be with Trevor Rabin and Rick Wakeman, ARW. They're coming to Wallingford, the Toyota Oakdale Theater. That is on October 21st. The tour begins in just a couple of weeks. Jon Anderson, it's a real pleasure to talk to you.
Excellent, guys. You have a great day, and love to everyone who's listening, and life is good.
Thanks, John.
Jon Anderson with Bax O'Brien, Rock 102.
I'm attorney John Heyman. As a member of the motorcycle community for over 30 years, I know,